Lake Mead has been under severe drought conditions, but suddenly, the water level started rising in the lake. Could it indicate an end-time prophecy, or is this the indication of Jesus' second coming? Get ready to dive into the terrifying secret discovered due to the water crisis at Lake Mead. Here we begin. Lake Mead, nestled on the Arizona-Nevada border, is no ordinary lake. This artificial marvel serves as a crucial reservoir for the renowned Hoover Dam, supplying water to countless people in the southwest region. Its importance doesn't end there. It also contributes to generating hydroelectric power for numerous households. Unfortunately, Lake Mead has been grappling with dwindling water levels due to a confluence of factors: water depletion, climate change, drought, and restrictive policies. Lake Mead's drought. Lake Mead has faced a daunting challenge since 1999. Population growth has led to water depletion and a decline in its levels. But it's not just the population to blame. A persistent drought has gripped the southwest for years. This prolonged dry spell, combined with soaring temperatures, has accelerated evaporation, preventing the replenishment of Lake Mead's waters. Climate change exacerbates the situation. Greenhouse gas emissions alter the atmosphere, triggering chemical reactions that raise global temperatures and disrupt weather patterns. In the southwest, rising temperatures speed up evaporation from the air and the lake's surface. With less moist, warm air, precipitation dwindles, aggravating drought conditions. Experts estimate that climate change is responsible for 42% of Lake Mead's current drought conditions. Moreover, around 90% of the lake's water originates from melted snowfall in the Rocky Mountains. With diminished snowfall, the flow into the Colorado River and Lake Mead is reduced, compounding the decline in water levels. What is uncovered beneath Lake Mead? A bathtub ring emerges. A peculiar sight emerges as the scorching sun casts its unforgiving rays over Lake Mead. Sam Morris, a photographer, captured an image of a weathered powerboat, half buried in the parched mud, its bow defiantly pointing towards the vast expanse of the cloudless sky. This remarkable phenomenon, known as a bathtub ring, serves as a poignant testament to the devastating impact of the climate crisis. Encircling the lake, this white band of dried rock starkly illustrates the drastic decline in water levels over the past 2 decades, surpassing even the arid conditions witnessed in the last 1,200 years. Skeletons and bodies resurfaced. Lake Mead has long been a repository for forgotten secrets, with decades of discarded items lying beneath its depths. However, as the waters recede, a haunting truth begins to emerge. On May 1st, 2022, a vigilant boater spotted an anomalous barrel firmly entrenched in the mud. A gruesome revelation unfolds as a lifeless body is discovered within, suspected to be a murder victim from the late 1970s or early 1980s. As if echoing this macabre find, 2 sisters paddleboarding on the lake stumble upon another set of skeletal remains 6 days later. Lieutenant Ray Spencer of the Las Vegas Police aptly predicts that further discoveries lie in wait as the water level declines. His words ring true when on July 25th, park rangers receive yet another report of human remains discovered at Swim Beach in Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Forgotten vessels and ancient artifacts. Ghostly remnants of sunken boats, including a World War II-era landing craft, materialize from the depths. Yet, according to the National Parks Service, the relic's origins remain in mystery, leaving historians pondering whether its descent was accidental or a deliberate act to dispose of a no longer useful vessel. Alongside these nautical relics, the retreating shoreline discloses a plethora of ordinary human artifacts: beer cans, sunglasses, baby strollers, tackle boxes, each a tangible connection to the people who once frequented this recreational oasis. Surprisingly, among this modern detritus, treasures of the past emerge. Ancient arrowheads, handguns, and countless remnants of scattered trash painting a vivid picture of Lake Mead's historical tapestry. The surprising thing is, suddenly, there is a rise in water levels. In just 26 days, Lake Mead has experienced an astonishing transformation. After a relentless decline that lasted 6 months, the water level has surged by an impressive 2 feet 8 inches. To put it in perspective, that's an average daily increase of 0.8 inches over the past month. The lake's elevation on August 22nd was 1,043.45 feet above sea level, hitting a low point of 1,040.71 feet on July 27th. This remarkable rebound has caught the attention of many, prompting the question, what is behind this sudden resurgence? While the recent monsoonal flow, bringing weeks of rainfall, has undoubtedly contributed to the rise, the Bureau of Reclamation suggests additional factors are at play. According to Michelle Helms, the public affairs officer for the Bureau, recent storm events and runoff into the tributaries that enter Lake Mead, as well as reduced releases from Hoover due to a decrease in downstream demand, are the leading cause for the recent increases in Lake Mead's elevation. A combination of rainwater and decreased water demand downstream has led to this positive turn of events. However, it is important to note that this upward trend is not a sustainable solution. Most water in the Colorado River Basin, including Lake Mead, originates from melting snow in the Colorado Rockies. Additionally, the monsoon season is expected to wane in the coming weeks. These factors emphasize the transient nature of the lake's current recovery. What does the Lake Mead water crisis and its sudden rise indicate per Bible verse? As seen, a prominent body of water known for its fluctuating levels, Lake Mead has experienced a sudden rise in water levels. While the cause of this phenomenon remains undisclosed, some individuals believe it may be a sign pointing towards the second coming of Jesus Christ. So how are the biblical prophecies related to Lake Mead's water and its significance in the end times? Trumpet plagues affecting water. According to Bible prophecy, as the cycle of sin worsens, Jesus will intervene to save humanity from self-destruction. In this period, God will unleash a series of plagues upon sinful nations, each heralded by the blast of a divine trumpet. 2 of these plagues will directly impact our oceans and freshwater supplies. The second trumpet plague describes a scene where a great burning mountain is cast into the sea, turning a third into the blood. Consequently, a third of the sea creatures perish, and many ships are destroyed. Revelation chapter 8, verse 8 through 9. The third trumpet plague involves a great star called wormwood falling from heaven, polluting a third of the rivers and springs of water. This contamination causes bitterness and death to those who consume it. Revelation chapter 8, verse 10 through 11. Last plagues affecting the seas, rivers, and springs. Even after the 7th trumpet, signaling Jesus' return, many people on earth will persist in their resistance to him. As a response, God will pour out 7 bowls of wrath upon them, 2 of which will involve water. The second bowl of wrath. Then the second angel poured out his bowl on the sea, and it became blood as of a dead man, and every living creature in the sea died. Verse 3. The third bowl of wrath. Then the third angel poured out his bowl on the rivers and springs of water, and they became blood. Verse 4. Through these plagues, the water that sustains life becomes a source of destruction and death. The suffering and devastation caused by these events will bring humanity closer to accepting the authority of Christ. Jesus' promise of refreshment and restoration. Amidst the chaos and devastation, God promises a future restoration linked to fresh, healing waters. The times after Jesus' return are described as moments of refreshing and the restoration of all things. Acts chapter 3, verse 19 through 21. Isaiah painted this beautiful word picture. The wilderness and the wasteland shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose, for waters shall burst forth in the wilderness and streams in the desert. The parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1, verse 6 through 7. Ezekiel prophesied, the desolate land will be cultivated. Instead of lying desolate in the sight of all who pass through it, they will say, this land that was laid waste has become like the Garden of Eden. Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 34 through 35. New International Version. The psalmist also praises God, who turns a wilderness into pools of water and dry land into water springs. There he makes the hungry dwell, that they may establish a city for a dwelling place and sow fields and plant vineyards, yielding a fruitful harvest. He also blesses them, and they multiply greatly, and he does not let their cattle decrease. Psalm chapter 107, verse 35 through 38. These prophecies hope for a future where water rejuvenates the earth and its inhabitants. And if we connect, the sudden rise in Lake Mead might point towards the second return. But that will eventually happen after the water on earth gets deadly, bloody, and plagued. That has not happened yet. but still there are speculations that this is the sign of Jesus' second coming. What do you think of this sudden rise in Lake Mead? Comment below and subscribe for more.